whenever you're ready.
So how many of you all like steak or hamburgers or something like that? Figured most of us. So, obviously that has to come from somewhere, and a lot of that is feedlots, cattle. They're raised in feedlots, and that's where all of the growth and meat production takes place, basically. So our study is the management causes of lameness in these cattle, common treatment practices, diagnostic philosophies, and pinpoint areas of focus for future research and education about the lameness of cattle in feedlots. And basically lameness is, their feet, if you sprain your ankle or something, you're lame. So basically anything that causes them to not move properly or they have some sort of pain. So this was a survey that was completed by 47 consulting veterinarians, 37 consulting nutritionists, and 63 feedlot managers. And this was sent out via email, and the responses came back in through the web. Our objectives today, upon completion of this lesson, students will be able to identify what effects lameness can have on feedlot production. They'll also be able to summarize what can be done to help prevent the lameness of feedlot cattle, and state what types of diseases mostly cause the lameness of feedlot. Costly disease in feedlot. Lameness accounts for 16% of all health problems in a feedlot, so that's a decent amount. Health costs associated with lameness include treatment costs, so what you have to do to get that cattle back into health, their death if somehow something takes a turn for the worse and they do die from this, the loss due to chronic animals, which same thing. In realizer sale, if they go to the sale barn and they're not in tip-top shape, they won't bring as much, so you can also lose money from that. Research has shown that lameness, specifically foot rot, decreases performance in feedlot cattle, and affected cattle need an average of 14.3 additional days on feed. So not only do you have cattle that are sick and not in their best condition, but you're also losing money because you're having to feed them longer and keep them on your land longer. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. To diagnose the results from our survey, 40.8% of the participants responded that cattle found lame in the home pen required further diagnosis and potential treatment. So, they're going to get them up and look at them and be like, oh, they just hurt themselves, got a little scratch, that's why they're lame. Or, oh, wow, there's something wrong, we need to treat this. 45.6% said they responded that cattle with lameness apparent with significant pain and needed further diagnosis and treatment follow-up. So it's not just going to be, one time, oh, let's just do this. They're going to need continuous treatment throughout the next, week or so. And then 13.6 participants responded that no set protocol was utilized. So, they're just, oh, they're lame, okay, they'll be okay. They don't have anything set that, okay, if we see a cow that's lame, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to follow up with this. The causes of lameness, this is, so you see foot rot, which is the major disease which causes it in feedlots. I believe it was about 42%. Also injury is another big reason for lameness, and I think that was about 35%. Then we also have toe abscesses or ulcers, sole bruises, and then other random reasons. Tools used to diagnose and treat lameness. From the research, most said that they use palpation. If they got the cattle up in a chute, they can feel around their foot if they have any pains where, the cattle is going to respond in some way. And also just visualization, just looking at it, you can see if they have some sort of laceration or cut or something like that. And then common treatment practices. They could inject them with antibiotics to get rid of, foot rot or whatever they may have going on. Corrective trimming and removing ulcers. If their hoof is split or something and that's causing them to be lame, they can trim their hoofs to help them grow out properly and fix that. And also topical treatments, which is shown here. You can spray something on the wound or whatever it is to help that. Contributing factors to disease in feedlots that cause lameness, the surface of the pens, some are just mud like that, and then some are shavings like inside like this one. Also the weather has a lot to do with foot rot. Happens a lot of time when it's very moist and mud, and they get bacteria in there and it likes to grow in those kind of conditions, so that obviously doesn't help either. And then also the handling of animals when they come, you know, in and out of the trailers and whatnot. They can injure themselves, so that accounts for a lot of it too. The research shows that prevention can be done in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of feedlots have a lot of employees, and they need, you know, they don't always have the proper training, basically. You know, they're not all vets, so they need to be shown what to look for and what to do if they do see lameness in cattle in feedlots. Also, the facility design, like, you know, when they're loading and unloading, they need the proper facilities so the cattle do not get hurt. And then vaccinations, you know, preventing this kind of stuff, and antibiotics once they do see this, and everything like that. So, review. What effects lameness can feedlot have on production? Does anybody remember? Yes.
They spend an extra 14 days on feed.
Yes, good.
Average.
What can be done to help prevent lameness in feedlot cattle?
Effective training.
Yes, good job. What type of diseases mostly cause lameness in a feedlot? Yes? Good job. And these are our resources for today. Anybody have any